This week on Boxy Queens, we're going to take a stroll through the past and look at some old art pieces. Let's start with the motorcycle helmets, and maybe we'll walk over and end at the Beetlejuice houses. For years, I was wondering, what could I do with motorcycle helmet to make it unique and artistic? And I really didn't have any ideas. And then it just takes like one idea snowballing to another idea to come up with an idea. And what inspired me was those old like 60s and 70s cast iron pans where people would glue nuts and bolts inside of them. And sometimes they would make such abstract patterns, you don't even know what you're looking at it, but they would spray paint them all one color and hang those on the wall. So I thought, well, let's do something like that. So I really felt like this helmet is very symmetrical. It is not very much heavier at all with all of this stuff on there. And when you pour the resin on, it holds it on and it's very lightweight. But I try to pick items that aren't heavy anyway. So this is more of the symmetrical helmet. It's got paper mache horns, got one of my tiny little skulls. So as you can see, I'll probably take up a close look and take a tour around this helmet and show you all the great things about it. But these are helmets that are retired. I wouldn't ride with this helmet on. It's not safe, and it's also not safe to other people. If I had an accident crash, what if one of these little horns just shot off the windshield and hurt somebody? But I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it. See, it's tricky taking it off, but you just have to This has been the coldest July, I think, here in central Washington. It's like 71 degrees today, and it just rained a little bit ago. It's usually over 100 degrees. It was just 100 degrees the other day. The last helmet was a open face helmet, and here we've got a full face helmet. This is the chrome helmet, and as you can see here, it's got more of a wave mohawk. So it goes off to the side there, kind of goes around, and then tapers off in the back. This one has a little bit more of the abstract with it. It's not as symmetrical and organized, and just different parts, like that's part of a tent. Different little plastic things that aren't very heavy. And then when I spray painted it all with chrome and then poured resin on it. And the chrome is really just wonderful until you actually spray or pour resin on it. It really does take the degree down a level, but definitely looks good. Tinker Toys, Legos, Barbie doll accessories, toothpicks, tiny swords, little animals, hairbrushes, things you stick in cakes, things that hold balloons down, a little water pistols, the little guy from those little toys, I forgot what they're called, wood letters, wood numbers, hair curler rods, big blocks, part of an egg, a plastic egg, outlet protectors. Those are just some of the things on the gold helmet. And the gold helmet is also a full face helmet, and it also has more of the abstract design. This doesn't really have anything specific aim going for it, more of the height and fun of it. And once again, let's see, I could probably definitely put this one on. Try to be gentle here. But the thing you gotta do is just gotta let gravity, don't wanna break anything, but let gravity work for you. It's really important that you wrap your hair up, because when you're riding, that wind will whip it around and it'll break the ends of your hair off. So it's really important that you not just braid your hair, but you protect it and wrap it up in there to keep it safe, or that hair is always gonna look bad. All right, I don't know if I can see. So here we have the helmet. Looks great, wasn't too hard to get on and off. Very easy. And then once again, sealed in resin. And because the weather is so poor today, it's a perfect day to be outside to share my art without having to deal with blaring sunshine and shadows. This here is my sequin skull. And so I just took a foam skull and I stacked sequins, and then I attached them with a sewing pin. And then I just had this piece here and just set this on there. So it's all the way under and around. I mean, even the teeth are little sequins stacked up. Now, I have also made a sequin horse. I hand carved a horse out of foam, and I only have half of a picture of it. I'll probably put it up here. And I sold that at an art gallery a long time ago. And I really bummed out. I wish I had a better picture of the sequin horse, because it was really cool too. I was helping an older friend once help clear out her basement, and we were going through her mother's old things, and we found this really cool old Virgin Mary statue. Now, I believe this could be from the 60s. It's like a plastic material, maybe a resin material, and these usually have sand in them, and this one was just gray, completely gray. And the sand is so they don't tip over. Well, this one didn't have any sand left, and it was really cracked, and it looked really cool. So I took it home, and I painted this really cool design with these really crazy colors. And then I sealed everything in resin, and I gave her the white eyes. I like to give my people white eyes, her red lips, her gold hands. She has the red fingernails and the toenails, same there. And then I put it on this wood base, which I also sealed with resin. And so this one is 2018 when I created this, and I believe this one took about 48 hours to create. These are for hairdressers to practice their hair on, and I got probably 6 or 7 of these. So I created this one after the Virgin Mary, of course, because the diamond pattern on here, the white eyes, the red lips. And then I created this really interesting headpiece using this diamond pattern. And she's got this really cool rosebud hairstyle in the back. And that's what I did with this mannequin head. Orem got a helicopter flying over the top of the house. Now that I think that helicopter is gone, I can tell you about Orem. Now, this is one of 3 of these creatures I've created. One is Lamac, which has acid etched feather copper wings. And then we have Butyl, which had all of the tiny little feathers and buttons, and it made the little jingly noise. Well, this is Orem, and this is made out of vintage cigarette coupons. You remember the friend I got that Virgin Mary from? Well, I also got these cigarette coupons from her too. So I cut them all up in this really cool pattern. And I also cut up some tiny little gold papers and set them in there. And then I made these spikes out of the gold paper and put them on. And it's just regular, just the gold paper for the feet. I really love this one. This is out of the reindeer body, paper mache bodies you can get around Christmas time for, I don't know, under 50 bucks each. But because I'm a recycled artist, I usually get this stuff for free. And I love to come up with different ways to create and make them into something else. Not too long ago, I shared one of my homemade puppets, Larry Fifi, and I was talking about how I had made 3 of the Muppet style Muppets, and I made a marionette. Well, this is the marionette, and this is all just out of recycled junk. The top is a ruler, And then this is just some twine I had. I believe this is a beaver skull. These are ping pong balls that look like eyeballs that you can get at like the dollar store. This is some scrap wood. I believe this is zebra wood. And we come on down, we've got a little, it looks like a little light holder, a candle holder that looks like a little birdhouse. And then we got some little parts and pieces of like giant rakes on the side, or say miniature rakes. And then a little, one of those tiny little hands, another little animal bone, just other little things randomly put on here. I made a hand out of wire. And we come down to the kickstand, another little bone, and some Tinker Toys, another little section there, and a little water pistol. And his butt is a giant like clothespin, and then a T-seed. And then we've got a little vertebrae, some wings there. I'm not a puppeteer. This project actually first started with just the baby head and the Bambi deer body. I made my own creature there, and then I painted the painting. Here's my painting idea. And then I thought, well, that is really cool. Let's see if we can make a diorama using that. So I went ahead and used my baby deer. I made this little skull out of clay, and that was supposed to represent the Bambi head that was once here. All these little bones are from the owl pellets that I retrieved out of. And then of course I have those purple mountains, which are just foam blocks. And then I made these little water towers with just some paper and some balsa wood sticks. And then of course I got my static grass back here. And then this is ballast for like trains and stuff. Now I did break some of the tree there, and I have the pieces sitting here. If I want to fix them, I can. But otherwise, that is my, I call it this my pompous little imp diorama. Because if you look at the painting, he has quite an attitude. He is where he's not supposed to be. So that's a little bit more of the story, is, you know, the grass is always greener on the other side. Well, he is in areas he's not supposed to be, and he needs to leave, and that's it. And as we get to the end of the video, we've come across the first Beetlejuice house that I created. This is out of balsa wood. This was created around 2019, and as the same time that I created this house, I also created the after the remodel house. So we'll see that in a second. I did put Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis in the window up here. Maybe we'll get a close-in shot of that. And this took 45 hours. At the time, there wasn't any pictures online pretty much of the house of the side or the back. So I kind of had to piece it together with what I could find and other people's ideas of what they thought maybe these areas looked like. So I really love this piece. Actually, after I made it, I did paint Beetlejuice's face on here, and I didn't like it, so I took it off. But sometimes the balsa wood can be really thin. And as I was sanding or something here, I accidentally pushed it right through. So I have this little split right here where I fixed it, but you can just kind of see the damage still. So it's really easy to break these. One thing I also do is I put black paper behind the windows, and then I put my window up. So when you look in, it looks like a shiny window, but it's blacked out inside. And I did that with a lot of my dioramas. Let's go over and look at the after remodel. I can't remember everybody's names from the movie. I think that after that couple bought it, after everybody died and that couple bought it, then they remodeled it. This is the house that I created, that part. Let's start again. Here is the after the remodel of the Beetlejuice house. So as you can see here, I added balsa wood to come out and put some grass on it so I could actually hold these structures out. You see they painted this color, added these little dimensions on here, across added this design, so I added a little grass there. And another thing they did is this was black, this little ridge here, so they painted it white. And also this little section was black and they painted that white too. So that is also the Beetlejuice house after the remodel. So it's almost impossible to show both houses at the same time because you can only hold one way and one the other way. So here are the Beetlejuice houses. This is, so you try to get it, this will be my, my main title shot. So here are the two Beetlejuice houses. You can look at the differences there of the before and after remodel. And how did I start making these? Well, what I first did is I looked at the front door and I decided, how big is this front door? I also understand the design of this house. This is also the same as the Psycho house and the Addams Family house. I didn't make the Addams Family house, but they pretty much have a similar design. And so if I know how tall the ceilings are going to be in the house, maybe 10 to 12 feet, or how tall the door is going to be or how wide, I can go with that and start guesstimating the sizes and then piecing it together and correcting it. So first I'll do a drawing of everything and then look at it. But once you start building stuff, it's a whole different story, and you really have to piece it together. So this ultimate fun right here, ultimate fun. I would love to wear this on a hat, as a hat, and walk around. Look at my Beetlejuice houses. Well, thank you for stopping in to my video today. I did it. I did it. My catalog is at 1,358 items. I still have a little bit more to go. I'm very close. I'm still painting. I have put my Willy Wonka office to the side right now because what I need is a large chunk of time dedicated to making all the miniatures to the right scale. Now, I already have several of the office pieces already made and furniture, but in order to keep everything consistent, I like to do it together, and I haven't had that time yet, but I will be working on that probably in the next week or two. I'm really excited because my catalog is getting really close to being done. Hey, if you like artwork, if you like watching me and my channel, it'd be really cool if you subscribed and liked and check out all the things I do. I've been doing this for years, and there's always going to be something going on in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye! Hiya.